Okay, everybody, we're back with the RavenCourt. We have Dragonshire as our map now, and well, once again, we're looking at some games hosted in the in-house system of the RavenCourt. If you want to have more information, if you want to look at the current ranking for this season, which will then feed directly into the tournament that we are preparing for, you can also go to the website. It's linked in the description, so if you want to have a look there, feel free to check it out. But now we're going into our, well, first game of the day. So right now we have Dragonshire coming up, and we've actually had quite a lot of people already signed up for this. So currently we have 2 days per week where these games are taking place live. That's Thursday and that is Sunday. And some of the days we have like even 30-40 people participating on the higher levels, so that we're getting 4 lobbies at the same time. Today, even with the first series, we already have 2 lobbies up, which is quite nice. And as the evening progresses, we can actually expect even more to sign up. Dino, for example, also wanted to play and then realized that he's at a new PC right now, at a different PC that doesn't have Heroes installed, so he had to drop out of the queue and needed to get to installing everything before he can join. But yeah, he's probably going to be featured later on as well. So in case that you're unfamiliar, basically the entire in-house system around the RavenCourt is trying to make Storm League good. So we all know that the matchmaking of Storm League is a little bit of a shit show. So what we're getting instead is the bot trying to get proper matches together with the players that are signing up, and all of this is leading to a tournament that we are hosting very soon. We have captains and a captain's draft tournament again, but now everybody, you know, all the players have a chance to just show their skills off a little bit, and also therefore make sure that they're going to be picked when we are looking at the tournament, the team selection for it. So it's a pretty cool concept, it's really nice, and the in-house draft, the captain's draft later, we've had it already in the past. Now in the game here at hand, of course, we are now looking at also some familiar names. Darkmook has been playing here in the RavenCourt, which I like quite a lot. We have Drake in again, Mr. Dark Druida over there, Galnagulna is playing. Laubas signed up as far as I know too, so we're gonna see a lot of familiar names that of course all aim to participate in the tournament itself. But since the teams are mixed and you don't play with teammates that you have known for, like, you know, ages, and don't really have a lot of practice together, it also means that you have to really adapt a little bit on the fly. That maybe in the late game some mistakes are being made, maybe some calls are not 100% clear, you know, and people really have to just find their rhythm. But as it goes into game number 1 of the day, we have now Maiev and Rhaegar being picked for the blue team. And on the right side, Brightwing is our first pick. I mean, obviously you're banning out meta more so than anything else, so if you know that there's a one-trick pony on the other side, then you're going to try and remove his hero as quickly as you can. But here comes the Haka, and we get Genji. So we already have a global for the top lane. Genji, played by Drak here, can play together with Brightwing a little bit, and they can start to rotate between lanes. So they have already some global mobility, which should help them on Dragonshire in particular to control the points and then really make a move for the Dragonite itself. Now, you have Maiev on the other hand, so she's already gonna have a pretty big impact if they can combo her off properly with good damage. You need those tethers, you need some CC, so they're gonna have it with her, and the damage too. Rhaegar will help with the camps. That's already pretty certain. But depending on how well the Haka is playing this, I already like what the red team puts together here. The Haka is always a huge asset if you play him properly. And with good timings, they should be able to really play to that numbers advantage that they're currently looking for right now. But okay, either way, we are now looking at the blue team for another quick pick. They need a side lane. That's going to be Urel, and we have Muradin. So that's actually nice mobility when you think about those shrines in particular. So Urel can simply hop over. You have Muradin also in a similar situation. Maiev has the mobility she needs here. And Urel is also insanely tanky and can really pack a punch in those team fights too. Just the displacement alone is hugely important. To get combo that off with Maiev and with Muradin, and you really have a lot of space control that you can utilize there. When it comes to main tanks, then again, we have now Tychus to burn down Muradin a little bit, and Garrosh gets picked up. So, Garrosh, and with a nice flip, I mean, Tychus could technically also go into more of an auto attack style. I remind you of, I believe it was one of the first days that we cast in the RavenCourt, where we even had a Tigers going into drill. Now I don't think we're necessarily going to get that here. I would still expect a grenade build, but an auto attack style is not out of the question. With that, we're set. Game number 1, everybody. Sylvanas gets picked last for the blue team, and we are ready for Dragonshy hit the RavenCourt. So let's go. And off we go, the blue team on the left side with Death Knight on Rega. We got MGQB with Sylvanas, Darkmog on Urel, Zero on Maiev, and Fish is playing Mirrodin. So the blue team set with Maiev, Urel, and Mirrodin at the front, Sylvanas as their range damage dealer. On the right side, we're seeing the red team with Marl Karks on Dehaka. We got Gul'Naguil'Na on Brightwing, Porky on Garrosh, Drakia playing his Dark Reader account with Genji, and Krankle is playing Tychus. So, especially with Garrosh, let's see what we're going to get. And here it is, the auto attack style. Press the advantage. Yep, as mentioned, it's an option, especially when you're playing with Garrosh. So now they're trying to potentially stack it up on the level 4. A lot of pleb horses here, by the way. Oof, that's already an F. Doesn't really instill a lot of confidence when I see that. But yep, Porky is going to try and go for the flips here. As already mentioned before, having a few more Americans than usual participating in the matches here was really nice the last time as well, with Legacy, Cure participating, Madara too, and the Fish goes down. Easily eliminated here, so one already gone. And it's kind of cool to just see all of these people participating right now, because we have more and more signing up for this season of the RavenCourt. Nano signed up, of course, we've seen him already previously, Dino, even Make has joined the ranks, so all of them want to make sure that they're fulfilling the requirements for the tournament, so that they can be picked by the captains once that we're heading into that stage of it all. And it's going to be just awesome. It's really fun to just see all of these guys playing together, and the mixed teams as well. Having Darkmog, for example, back in the mix is very reminiscent of the good old times of HGC, and the same is also true with other players that we're getting here. So it's going to be pretty fun. But yeah, either way, we have now 2 kills to 0 already in favor of the red team, so it's a great start for them. And whoop, they even got a third one now. Here in the middle, they went for Maiev, and they actually got her. So a few of these pickups should not necessarily happen, but Garrosh is working these in quite nicely. That's a half-level lead that they have now. And with level 4 talents, here's the question, is Tychus going to go for full stacks, or will we see the bigger they are instead? Hasn't made a choice just yet, but is already working the minigun in up at the top, so Krankle gets some damage in, Gul'Naguil'Na gets out, which is insane, and Darkmog gets caught just before he can escape, and oh my god, they're low. All of them get out of the fight alive. It's 4 kills to 0, quite the statement made by the red team as this game starts up, and they're going for number 5, and they get another kill. They can take another one down. Sylvanas is gone. And yeah, it's a little bit bonkers here. We have indeed In the Rhythm on level 4 now for... Ooh, yeah, unfortunate for Porky. But yeah, we have indeed In the Rhythm in level 4 for Krankle. So Tychus is going to try and follow up on Press the Advantage with additional stacks for his trade. But this is pretty sexy what they're pulling off here. Very dominant early game that is being played by the red team now. But of course we've seen quite a lot of comebacks in the RavenCourt already. I mean, a lot of these games ended up with literal core races. More aggression up here at the top though, as the Dehaka is now getting attacked. The blue team finally wants to have a kill, but the Dragon Knight gets claimed by the red team. So a lot of time wasted by the Dehaka, but they're taking him out quickly. I mean, at this point, they just wanted to make a statement. They were just like, screw the Dragon Knight, we don't care anymore, we just want to get a kill. Let's go for the Dehaka, and boy did they hammer him into the ground. So the Dehaka, he's gone. We have Genji also getting killed in the middle, but the main story is really the Dragon Knight trying to deal with the bot lane here. So they're already attempting to open this up. Siege Giants also in play, and it is Tychus who holds the DK. They gotta be a bit careful with him though. I mean, the rest of the team, or at least some, are starting to move in, but Krankle is very much alone. Gets thrown by Garrosh. Nice, but where's Brightwing when you need her? Yeah, that traitorous fruit fly. No assistance, no help, no nothing. That's why she doesn't have any friends. That's the reason right there. Backstabber. Okay, so 14 stacks for Tychus, by the way. Has a level 7 now, and we're seeing Relentless Soldier coming in on level 7 for him. Yeah, gets a few more stacks against Death Knight here now too, sitting at 21. Early stacks and in the rhythm obviously fairly important, so that you can just exponentially increase the stacking even further. Up towards the top, we still have the Haka roaming the lanes and doing his thing. But as is, in experience, the blue team is still ahead. 3 kills to 5. Oh, I shouldn't say still, they actually took over the experience lead. Let's not forget that initially it was the red team that started to get 1 kill after another, so they did a great job there. But currently what we're seeing is the blue team slowly taking over, at least on experience. Down here, still a bit of poke happening from Drag here. Tychus has started to help out the Haka with the camp that they're currently attempting to claim to put additional pressure onto the top lane. So, yeah, there it is. And now, down at the bottom, the wall, it has been opened up, so they've already lost that. But the roaming squad is still en route as the blue team is hoping for some additional kills eventually. Now, the first objective hasn't really done too much for the red team. Didn't necessarily expect that it would. Keep in mind that early on in the game, the first Dragon Knight is pretty... I mean, it's a little bit stronger than an oversized minion, but that's at the end of the day what it is. It does some damage. It mainly comes down to you utilizing the Dragon's Breath to try and get minion wave clear in. But besides that, there's little you can do. Yeah, a couple of hits are now coming as Garrosh is again looking for victims. But you also don't have anybody that can capitalize with stacks on it. Level 10 ready for both teams. So we finally entered the mid game, as we now also have the X-Strike in play. No real surprises, honestly, here. We got the Ardent Defender again. We also have the Containment Disc for Maiev. They're starting to move over a bit. And here comes the taunt and some additional stacks already for Tychus. He's sitting at 25 and gets another 6 in very quickly. So yeah, extended duration on his trade that in the long run should help him a lot against Yrel and Muradin in particular. But the double control has been established again. Darkmoor Key reclaims the top shrine control though. And by now we have the red team busying themselves down at the bottom of the map, trying to contest the shrine in the lane here. And if they get a kill here, that would be pretty fantastic. Crankle should also have another trade up any second for a few more stacks. He's sitting at 34 now. Yeah, gets a few more in, but not too much. 38, I mean, again, better than nothing. But in an ideal world, he would try to get a full duration through at some point to properly stack up his level 4 and get all of that extra damage in. I mean, at this point, Global at the top, still controlling it. A nice flip and kill. Muradin is gone. The blue team has to be careful now down at the bottom of the map. This gets used against Odin. That always feels a little bit weird, honestly. Every single time I see Odin just being pushed around and put into a disc, it just feels wrong. I don't know what to tell you there. But yeah, he actually popped his ult in this situation. And now we have a double control for the red team again on the objective. And Genji is going to get it. Genji, no, at the top. Oh, it was Darkmoor who denied the dream of a second Dragon Knight. He shut that down. Tychus is now sitting at 48 stacks, so yes, he got a few more. And they're already starting to fight it out again. Another interrupt here in the middle. They're moving down to the bottom of the map, trying to recover one of the shrines, and they will be able to deny it. Well done. Will be able to deny the shrine. Tychus is now sitting at 51, and the blue team is desperately trying to gain some objective control. We have 20,000 damage for Tychus, 20,000 damage for Sylvana, so the two of them are neck on neck. Brightwing is now coming in, safe path for her. And another flip. Oh, Garrosh needs to be super careful. It gets an assist from Brightwing. The problem is that both of them now all of a sudden are down. And the disc is hitting Tychus hard. That should be kill number 3. And indeed it is. The Stormbolt is there. Tychus is gone. Nicely done. Well played. And of course, an enormous amount of momentum as they're now going for the fort at the bottom of the map. Beautiful attack here. It was a quick double kill, and then the disc came out after Brightwing and Garrosh got already eliminated. So he is the next one to fall. 6 kills to 6. The fort has been destroyed too, and they're even moving over to take the Siege Giants here. So very, very aggressive now from the blue team, and they are just exploiting all these small advantages that we're able to build up. And after they initially got absolutely shit on, they are now looking at the same amount of kills at a level lead and potentially a first objective. But the Globals are still giving them some trouble, so establishing control over both lanes is a problem for them. So that's an issue. But yeah, the fights keep starting up. Siege Giants, of course, bot lane. They have to be taken out. It's Tychus who does the honors here. Sitting at 66 stacks at level 13. He went into the Neo Steel coding. And the red team is trying to recover a little bit. They have, of course, a lot of globals. They have a lot of global mobility that they can use to control the macro game. But the blue team is getting more and more dominant in team fights, and it really starts to pay off for them. So red team could sneak a Dragonite. Not doing any of this. Disc is out, and the camp is stolen as a result. Nicely done. Wailing Arrow also used. X-Strike, and Drakia is able to get away. Dehaka might not be so lucky. Seems like he is gonna die next, and indeed he does. Whereas the fight over here still continues. Yeah, Crankle gets more stacks together here, extends the duration of the minigun for what it's worth, but he's just not able to get any kills in for the team right now, and Porky is getting swarmed heavily and falls. So despite the fact that they had all of those shrines controlled again, they're losing out on another Dragonite opportunity. And with two Bruiser camps, we now have another topside push for the next fort, and this is going to destroy the top fort, for sure. Whereas the bigger problem is now that another Dragonite is also going to be locked in, and this time it is the blue team that gets it, who, by the way, have also gotten access to level 16 talents already. So the first team to get to level 16, capitalize on the talent. Tychus has now nearly an additional 3 seconds, or has an additional 3 seconds on his minigun duration. So they're really getting value from him, but they need kills. They need kills. They're not coming together. The control that we're getting in every single fight from the blue team is just a bit too much for them to handle. The discs have been absolutely on point from Maiev so far, and the follow-up nearly always resulted in kills. With the Dragonite living for another 40 seconds, they are clearly trying to go for the bottom keep. Maybe even take it down, but if not, then at least damage it a little bit. Yeah, Tychus can move in again, and who knows, maybe even extend his stacks further. But they need to do something, and they give up the keep. They don't have level 16, so they don't really want to fight here. The two globals have moved towards the mid and the top lane, as you can see on the minimap. So the whole idea here was to get to the same level. And now that they have 16, they are immediately engaging, trying to get the fight going. But the Tong does not connect, and Dehaka is dead before Brightwing can save them. Oh boy, that's rough now. Yeah, this is pretty rough what's happening for them here. After they got the 6 kills, which was a long time ago, they haven't picked up a single one yet. And the early game was great. I mean, again, they led with 4 kills to 0. I think wasn't it even 5? So they did such a great job initially to control the flow of the game, even got a Dragonite, but now the blue team has just fully stabilized and is giving them more than a run for their money. If you look at the damage output, Tychus is still top damage in the game, and Genji is not far behind them. Both of them are a lot higher than what we're seeing for the blue team here. We have 36,000 for both of them. The problem simply is that they have lost the ability to translate that into kills. So now they are 3 kills behind, and the blue team, as you can see on the minimap too, they're just painting the entire map blue. We have the Bruiser camp at the bot lane taken. They've stolen away the Siege Giant camp over here. And just now they also took their own camp on the left side, meaning they have multiple camps set up through the bot lane that they can now engage with. And what the red team is really lacking is a proper engage in these fights. They're having real trouble to get a kill. They need to isolate someone and get a good hit in, dodge out on Maiev a bit too. Seems like there's a couple of issues on the red team. Looks, or could actually be, that we're talking about some voice issues here, the way that they are executing this. But the fact remains, they gotta coordinate a good fight. They have control over the side lanes, that's great. They have Dehaka, they have Brightwing, they can soak the experience. They can safeguard the keeps, so that's already important. But if you look at the minimap, they haven't taken down a single fort yet. And they have lost all of theirs. All 3 forts are gone. So they either have to take an objective and take some structures down, or get some kills. Brightwing is now getting hit by the Wailing Arrow, and Galnaguln gets away. Nice. That was actually cool. So he's able to get out. I thought for sure there was a kill. With the Wailing Arrow being used there, that looked like it would be a kill. But nope, not quite. So yeah, the hits are coming. Okay, Tigers still getting a few more together, and obviously with all the stacks that he has, he can really burn him down now. And he results with the Haka in a kill against Muradin, and it seems like Rhaegar is also going to have a problem, yeah, because he used apparently the wrong navigation app, relied on Google Maps or something, and now he finds himself in the middle of nowhere. Bites the tower, and that's that. Rhaegar gone, but guess what? The keep is gone at the bottom of the map too. So, yep, that's a bit of a problem. Nicely done. That was a pretty big one. Despite the 2 kills that we got from the red team, they lost out on the bottom keep. So even when they're winning, they're losing. Even when they're winning, they're losing. Nearly level 20 now for the blue team, and apparently they still have these issues. I mean, whatever's going on there, I'm not quite sure if somebody has problems with their keyboard or if it's just some voice issues. I mean, it's currently 7:30, so I don't know if it's dinner time, and once again, we're just gonna have, like, somebody's mom here, "Crank it, food's ready! But Mom, I'm playing!" So yeah, Mom doesn't care. It was a real problem back in my day, actually, to explain to my parents when I was playing online that I was playing with people, because they were just used to computer again, like a boomer here, right? So I grew up in the days when the internet came up, but they were used to computer meaning that you were just solo playing something, and explaining to them that you were playing with other people the same way that you would play football. They didn't really get that at all. So I don't know, maybe Crankle's parents are old school, like who knows? We don't. The core has also taken a bit of damage, so yeah, the cracks are appearing. They have 82% left, and Galne Gulnar is not alone. He gets some help from the Haka, so the 2 of them should be able to prevail here. And they might even get kills. Yep, there it is. They take Sylvanas down. Nice, so now it's 9 kills to 9. They were able to pick up 2 kills in total, and that's some nice damage also on Yrel. She's not gonna make it either. Another kill, and boy oh boy, finally the red team with a bit of a comeback. I like it. And that is going to be a Dragonite. So they get a Dragonite, which means they also deny to the blue team, who's just about to hit level 20. Somebody should at least do some damage here. Brightwing is probably going to be the one. But now they have to build momentum up, right? So now they have to get to a point where they're starting to take some forts down, where they're starting to catch up. They need to also close the experience gap to make sure that they're getting to level 20. 45,000 damage now for Tychus. He's still the top damage dealer in the game. We got a Dragonite, we got Odin. They're pulling all the stops here in an attempt to finally put a dent into the armor and the defense of the blue team. At the bottom of the map, we have another fort destroyed, Brightwing pushing out the top lane. But this is starting to look a bit better. This is definitely starting to look better for them now. They have level 20 in their hands, both teams therefore with Storm Talons. Tychus, after the sizzling attack, went into the bob and weave. 144 stacks now for him. So a real solid minigun duration for Tychus that he can capitalize on. Yeah, it's getting a little bit more here. Burns it maybe a little bit too early in these fights, but I mean at this point he doesn't rely on the stacking process that much anymore. Another hit is coming, so they're slowly disengaging here. The Haka was thinking about moving back in from the mid lane. Decided against it. Is now a bit chased by Yrel, but yeah, he's gonna get away here. It's not gonna be a problem. So the situation has definitely changed slightly. 2 forts have been destroyed on the blue team side. There's still a keep missing at the bot lane for the red team. But now the real team fights are happening, because now death timers are super high, and just look at the fish having to jump out here. More stacks and damage are coming in from Tychus as they're also dropping Yrel a little bit. But the battle isn't over yet. They're going once again for Garrosh. He's still fine. The Ancestral saving Yrel, and Porky goes down. Nice choke point fight from the blue team. They're able to get the kill. Tychus trying to get away here, bobbing and weaving out of the fight, wasting as much time as possible of the blue team. The Haka coming in too, or at least acting like it. Another quick move. Crankle is really doing his best to survive as long as possible to give the rest of the team a bit more time. Obviously, the blue team will now try to go for the core here. The main question is, can they buy enough time for maybe at least Garrosh to come back? It's another 30 seconds until he's back to business, and with 3 defenders, that might be possible. 25 seconds right now. Tychus is gone for a lot more though, and he is of course the main damage dealer on the red team side, and Dehaka dies way too quickly. Gets insta-kipped over here, so he is gone. 12 kills, 210. Blue team is making their way over towards the core. They're starting to chase the rest of the team. They're hoping for another kill, and they find it. They take Brightwing down, and that is the beginning of the end. The core losing its shield. Yes, Garrosh is back, but little will it help them. Tyger's back in 15. That's gonna be too late. He has Odin up, but the kills, they will keep coming, and those death timers are not doing them any favors either. So once again, they go for Genji. They take him down, and that is a victory for the blue team here at the RavenCourt. Juicy MMR points for the boys in blue. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Okay, the next RavenCourt match is ready, and this time we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and I gotta say that this is it's getting exciting. It's getting really nice. So we have more and more players signing up for today's matches, and therefore also, of course, for this season, so we can expect them to also play in previous or in future sessions. But Lauba is now, for example, playing as well. Dino has signed up. Macke is playing, not necessarily in this game, but again, as I mentioned before, there's multiple games played at the same time. So maybe I should say this right at the start. You're probably already familiar with the RavenCourt concept if you've watched any of these videos. But as I previously mentioned, and as I want to highlight again, we have multiple lobbies going up at the same time. So currently I believe there's like 3 or 4 games even running at the same time, meaning that of course you can't cover everything live. So if you're in any of these videos, if you watch them on YouTube, you encounter a game without a draft, all that means is that I casted this one from replays, because there's only so many games that I can catch live, and some of them are still good enough and interesting enough from the players that participate here, the drafts that we're getting, that I'm gonna cast them from replays then afterwards. But for more information for the current ranking, you can always go to the RavenCourt website. Keep in mind there's also crowdfunding going on there for the actual tournament. The link is in the description. You can have a look at the ranking and can get a bit of an idea of how much each player has been playing so far this season, and what of course the rankings currently are. There's also nice stats about the heroes that are being used, win rates, and so on and so forth. So by all means, make sure to check it out. But here in Tomb of the Spider Queen now, we have Cure, so it's the first game for him today, and we have Lauba. So it's really cool to see Lauba here too. I'm really enjoying this. He's obviously been playing in some of the previous tournaments that we've been hosting as well, and it's just a lot of fun to have him back in the scene there. Some of those guys, Macke being another example, have for a time just decided that they don't want to play anymore, but depending on the tournaments that we're hosting and what we're doing, they always come back, and it's always great to have them. But we get Anduin banned out, so already no Genji combo available for the blue team, neither for the red team. And Jojo gets the boot too, so that makes it 2 Overwatch heroes that got the axe in this one. And leaves us with first pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen for the red team. Now Jojo would of course have been a fantastic tank here, simply because she adds that extra wave clear that you normally are looking for. But my try is quickly going for Hogger and locks him in for the bot lane. Can of course dominate that pretty heavily if played correctly. And personally, I'm interested to see A, what Nano is picking. Are we going to get his Hanzo? Are they going to rely on Chromie? Is it maybe going to play a mage like Gul'dan, depending on what they want to do with wave clear? And it's easily answered. There's no ban on Hanzo, so he instantly picks it away. Hanzo is taken and Darkmok is playing Blaze. It's kind of fun. With Nano, you know what his preference picks are. It's pretty difficult to ban him out completely, but sometimes you will see a team that goes up against him just says, okay, we're at least going to deny you Hanzo or Chromie. But in this case, he had his pick and could easily go for it. Lauba, then again, going straight up for Diablo, and we get Cure and Sylvanas. So already they have a nice push tool they can use whenever they have Web Weavers, or of course, when they need the deep push to take one of the opponent's objectives down quickly and limit the damage. Quite a few options there for them. And yeah, I want to see what Ixia is playing as well. But again, coming to bans, so we have the third ban kicking in. It's always kind of cool to just see all of these mixed teams. I know I've been talking about it already, but I really enjoy this. One of the cool things here is also that obviously, since you have to adjust to teammates you don't play with regularly, and there will always be somebody on your team and the other team that is maybe not on the same skill level as the top 3 teams that we usually get to see in normal tournaments. That also means that there's more mistakes, that there's more things that you can exploit. Because usually the margin of error that you're seeing on the top level play is pretty small, and there's top-notch players here, but also some that want to push in and might lack the experience in that environment. So yeah, that makes it always kind of exciting. But let's see. And by the way, for everybody that of course wants to see that top level of play and some super interesting games, there is a playlist on the YouTube channel for the Heroes International. That's the last offline event that we had, the Nations Cup. It was absolutely amazing, so make sure that you check the playlists out if you want to have a look there. Particularly the offline finals in Berlin were incredible with the audience as well, and was super happy with the production. I mean, we did the entire tournament ourselves, so if you haven't watched that yet, you really missed out and should take a closer look. So yeah, check it out. You can thank me later. X here with Anna, and we got Garrosh now also taken, so they could still try and combo somebody else off with Anna for the nano boost, but with Garrosh and Blaze they already have a very hit point heavy front line. And on the side of their opponents we get Mephisto and we get Brightwing. Alright, Sylvanas, Mephisto for the damage, and also nice interrupts that they have with the two of them, especially of course with Mephisto. Oh, Corona. Okay, but last but not least, let's see what the next pick is. Chromie! We get both of them! Hanzo and Chromie! They go for the double. Nano, if he could, he would play them both, but he can't. So, Tomb of the Spider Queen, we're ready. Let's go. Our next map here at the Raven Cup matches, as we have Chromie joining the blue team as the last pick for this match. On the left side, in our Tomb of the Spider Queen game, we have Darkmog on Blaze, Gia playing Hanzo, so they actually swapped heroes around. They picked Chromie last, and now it is Nano that plays her. Play on Garrosh, and Ixia, he's playing Anna for the team on the support. On the right side, the red team with Cure playing cross-server here on the European server, playing Sylvanas. My try on Hogger. We got Lau on Diablo, Crankle on Brightwing, and Lopaka is playing Mephisto for the red team. Okay, so already we have on level 1 the Overwhelming Affliction, we get the Deep Breathing for Chromie, and as you can tell, Anna has started things with the contact healing, so currently moving into a grenade build. And Sylvanas doing a bit of damage up at the top, so Cure was able to take one of the towers down to roughly 60% HP. Good for him, whereas it's a Skull Missile build, as we see so often for Mephisto. Ooh, Lauber, okay, so he gets flipped and immediately pushes his way back out, but that sleep dart was pretty on point, nicely done. So Lauber dodging out on the burst damage from Chromie, but that was still very well executed. Bit of an assist out on the bottom of the map. We're gonna have a 1v1 situation still with Hogger and with Blaze, but in the middle they're already looking for kills, and the two mages are at each other's throat as Gnomi is trying to do her thing against Mephisto, but so far he's actually doing fairly well here. So a bit of damage against Gia, and now, oh, that was nice, yes. Hogger coming in here, they're looking for that kill, but my try might have, yeah, that was unfortunately not the right direction. Oh, they want to go for Gia, for Hanzo, and then Hogger just moves a bit into the wrong direction in his attempt to take him down, and is completely isolated from the team. So committed honorable Sudoku over here, and that's it. It's, by the way, still amusing to me how many people are writing me either. I even received messages on pretty much every single platform, being it Twitter, being it Instagram, YouTube, you name it, where people are like, Khaldor, like, do you know that Sudoku actually, that's a math puzzle? Do you know that? Like, it's actually not called Sudoku. I was like, yeah, no shit. I know I'm German, but every now and then, even as the Germans, they make it funny, so yeah. But yeah, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. Dropping the knowledge there. Oh yeah. So, maybe I should call it a Wordle. Maybe people will then understand it. Probably not. Level 4 is kicking in. We got one single kill, and that was more or less a suicide. Whereas we now have, at the same point in time, Unstable Poison in play. We get Spite. And, well, we get a kill against Sylvanas. So, Sylvanas taken down by Chromie. Nano successful here, and Cure eliminated. They're even going for another kill down at the bottom of the map. And this time they're aiming for Mephisto, who unfortunately for the red team is not able to make his way out of the fight. So that is kill number 3. Blue team with 3 kills to 0 now. And Play even trying to maybe interrupt somebody on the right side, hoping for a bit of a cheeky rotation, which didn't really happen. Gives, of course, also some vision, anchors the place of his main damage dealers. And they're dominating this middle of the map very nicely currently. They're not too far ahead in experience. The 3 kills, of course, give them a bit of a boost, but it's nothing too insane. But what it definitely makes happen is a bit of a lead in position. Up to the point where Kyo and his boys rotated towards the top. And this is something that Kyo has been doing in a lot of games, where he plays Sylvanas and just tries and play macro, rotates over towards lanes, and then starts to take structures down. And he does it very nicely here. This entire wall is all of a sudden in danger. So Cure with tons of value on Sylvanas for his team. Whereas at the same time the fights are still continuing over the turning point. Both teams have turned in 17 gems, but thanks to the additional kills that we got from the blue team, they're the ones that are heavily in the lead on gems now. And they're holding so many that they could get the first Web Weaver wave now. So it all depends on whether or not they're able to turn in the remaining ones, and they're working hard on it. We have 37 delivered now, and with Gia delivering another 12, they would find themselves just 1 gem short from getting the first wave. Now, they are correcting that already, but while all of this happens, Q is now at the top, and if nobody is trying to interrupt him here, he will take that wall down. So structurally, they're doing a decent amount of damage even without an objective. Yeah, he can do a bit more here. And of course, Web Weavers, they are now going to touch ground for the blue team in a second. But you can really tell, 1 tower down, the gate is down, so tons of work done by Cure at the top lane. That definitely is going to pay off later for them, I'd say. They're half a level behind on the other hand, so they have to kind of try and bridge that, because if the blue team takes now an even bigger lead in experience thanks to the Web Weavers, they would get an early level 10, and that is something they just can't afford here. So nice sleep dart action again. Diablo also gets caught for just a second. Lopaka comes back out, trying to threaten Hanzo, but cannot get the kill for them. Top side, Chromie against Sylvanas, and at least up to now, Cure is doing a decent job there, but he's also running into Nano, who's just not showing any mercy with the space. Diablo squashing Chromie into the wall. Easy kill for them. They're losing Hogger at the bottom of the map though, and that's a big problem, because that means it's 4 kills to 1. We're on level 9.5 nearly for the blue team, and thanks to the Web Weaver that is still in play at the bot lane, they can now break through the wall. They won't quite be able to take the fort down, I suppose, but it is going to take damage. Gia is also a bit isolated, but the problem for them is that he's getting help. They're coming in from the top, and now all of a sudden it's Mephisto that falls, and Cure is also in danger and is likely going to die here. Gets stunned and dies. Gems on the ground. Lauber trying to recover as many of them as he possibly can. Nano isn't even here, but yeah, this hurts, and part of the reason is that level 10 that they now have to. Just got it locked in, but they could use it too to maybe even get another kill. Half of the hit points on the fort gone, so another big problem. And now it's time for the red team to buckle down, get that half level, and then fight back. Chromie, by the way, is not going to get an Nano boost. Instead, we have the Eye of Horus taken by Ana on level 10. So a bit of a switcheroo on the ult. Not trying to just power up Chromie even further. They're hoping for another turn-in, as you can tell as well. Problem is that the red team doesn't even have enough gems for a turn-in, so that's an issue. Cure gets sniped by Ana straight between the eyes. Yep, X marks the spot, and that was a bullseye hit by X here. So now they are 5 versus 4. That arrow, on the other hand, that goes nowhere. So the arrow narrowly missing the target, making it kind of useless. But that stun was on point, and so was the hit by Chromie. Brightwing gets hammered. 8 kills to 1. The blue team doing an absolute beautiful job now. They are capitalizing on every single kill, and it is an enormous amount of momentum that they're building. Diablo gets killed too, and the big problem here is just the loss of gems that we're seeing. One kill after another, gems denied all over the place, and yeah, that's just rough. That's just rough. They're 8 kills ahead, 1.5 levels, and just look at these hits. I mean, damn. They get Brightwing, they're going for another, they want more kills, play with the plays. Garrosh making one move after another, Mephisto gets Hanzo'd, and they're just crushing them. Gia and Nano on the damage numbers are obliterating the red team, and they're showing no mercy here. They have easily enough gems for another turn, and they could get it any moment now, but they're already working on the hit points of the fort in the middle. Shockwave, yes, it connects with Ana, but the rest of the team dodged out on it, so Maitri can't really set anything up for the rest of the team. And now we have level 13 talents in the hands of the blue team. Beautiful performance by far. Really well done. At the top, yep, there's the turn-in. Play didn't even have to complete it. Blue team is going to come in here, and down at the bottom of the map they're already starting to threaten Maitri even further. A stun would be glorious here, but he is able to spin out. That 17 gems in his hands. They want to recover at least those, because they don't have a lot more, as you can see here. So they're struggling. Normally on Tomb of Spider Queen, if you're looking at a team that, yes, gets destroyed, loses heroes, but they at least keep their gems in play, then it's always a question of whether or not they can get all of them delivered. But here it's a very different story, since they're just losing the gems with every kill. And it's happening again. A nice combo, taunt, flip, stun, everything is unleashed on Hogga. He falls, that's another 17 gems gone. They're going towards the top now. They want to have another fort destroyed. The one in the middle and at the bottom of the map are already gone. That's a 2-level advantage. 11 kills ahead. What an absolute disastrous game now for the red team. They're really just trying to stabilize. They're trying their best to somehow stabilize the game, and then maybe on an even talent here fight back, but it is tough. Q has done a good job initially to start destroying the wall up at the top, but not much more than has happened. They have 22 gems. Now let's not forget, the red team has not turned in a single time. The blue team, on the other hand, has already had 2 Aviva waves. So now they can try and turn in the few gems that they have. They can try and contest the boss. Maybe was this too greedy? Nope, it wasn't. The boss gets claimed as well. And here comes the next attack. And oh boy, no! Hogga! No spin to win in this game. Nope, he spins and dies, and they are not stopping there. They're going for Sylvanas. They take Cure down again. Seems like the rest of the team is also on the run. Brightwing just gets sniped over here. Nano wants the kill, gets it, and oh my god. Absolutely destroys Trashwing. Mephisto, another sleep dart, and Lauber is going to be the next victim. 5-man team wipe as they destroy the red team and now make their way over to the camp. They want more than that. Obviously, the boss is already up at the top. We now have 42,000 damage for Hanzo, 24,000 for Mephisto. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal what's happening here. I mean, at this point in time, the blue team is literally just going through the red team like hot butter through cheese. They're giving them no chance. They just melt them down. A 16-kill advantage, a 3-level lead. What more do you want? They have the talent tier advantage as well here. So right now we're looking at the active reload. We got the quantum overdrive as well. And it's just insane. I mean, this is just... hit after hit is coming here. So the red team is trying to stop these punches from flying, but they just can't do anything. They're battered and bruised. They're trying to somehow get back into this, but it's nearly impossible here. Now keep in mind, they again were fully wiped, lost all the gems they had. Now they're back to 18 gems. But while they're trying to get enough gems for the first turn in, the blue team is about to complete the third. So, yeah, that's where we are right now. Turn in number 3. There it is. Brutal, savage, wrecked. They're getting crushed. They're absolutely getting crushed. Can they somehow bring this one back? I mean, this would be an incredible comeback. If they would somehow be able to bring this back, that would be insanity. I don't see it, honestly. They haven't lost any keeps yet, so that's the one saving grace. But even de-pushing this next Web Weaver attack is gonna be tough. They're gonna try, but this game is just not going well for them. Cure and Lauber, they're gonna try their best over here, but things are not looking good for them. Lopaka with Mephisto, he's trying as well. The stuns, the kills, the CC, they go down again. Right wing Sylvanas, they both fall. And that is kill number 5 against Sylvanas. Cure is having a bad one here. He just can't survive throughout all of this. The keep in the middle is already destroyed, and they are going to try and go for core here. I mean, this is just crazy. 19 kills to 1. Topside keep is also getting attacked, and this is just too much for them to handle. Krankle having a bad run too, a bit on a loss streak here for him. Whereas Gia, of course, is going to be very happy with all of this. Darkmog winning his second game on the day. And with the topside keep destroyed, it means they can only hold on to the one at the bottom, and barely that. So now we have level 16 talents, and this is the only chance that the red team has to take some kills. And they're trying for play. They throw everything on him, and Garrosh doesn't fall. Maybe now! There it is! Kill number 2. Woo! Finally some kills for them. It doesn't last long. HORDE is still getting destroyed, but they take Chromie down. So all of a sudden they're getting some kills here. Hanzo is dead too. Guys, they're taking them on one after another. Ana is destroyed. That means only Darkmog remains. They're trying to make it a wipe, but they can't. So all of a sudden they have a turn-in, and they should really try and use it here. Pushing back those lanes a bit. Even the core has already taken damage on the red team. Comeback incoming! Yeah, just wait for it. The comeback is real, boys. I honestly don't know what they're waiting for. They need to turn in. I mean, there's no better way, no better time to get a turn in. Darkmog, maybe a bit too optimistic moving down to the bot lane here. Oh, but yeah. So they push the lanes out a little bit, which they needed to do. That makes sure that the web weavers are also getting more value. But yeah, here comes the turn-in. Obviously, is going to be a turn-in against the level 20 talent on the other side. But yeah, what are you going to do? You got to go for it. You know that you're going to have the talent disadvantage. It's the only thing that really works out for you. So yeah, Cure gets attacked here, moves back quickly. That top fort is going to fall 100%. The web weavers are going to make sure of it. They're going to get more damage done also down at the bottom of the map, I suppose. But if they bring this back, that would be the comeback of the century. That would be absolutely incredible. So here it is, 20 kills to 5. 2 forts have been destroyed, but they're still a level away from level 20. They gotta do something. It's a shitty spot to be in. They don't want to fight against level 20, but what other choice do they have? They need to at least escort those web weavers in a little bit deeper so that they can do some damage against these walls, but they cannot really take an open fight, and they know it too, so they're already starting to retreat, which procs the attack of the blue team immediately. So they're defending now, which allows Cure, with all the vision information that he has, to go to the top and burn another wave down here. They are getting closer to 20, but Cure also needs to start retreating because he's a little bit too far out, and now he's dead. Yep, Cure is not gonna make it unless Brightwing can come in. Okay, maybe. Where's the wave when you need it? Wailing Arrow, and he's trying. Garrosh gets destroyed as they're chasing Cure. Cure is also dead, so it's a 4 versus 4. He stayed too long. He got too greedy, but they take Hanzo down. Guys, what's happening? The red team is bringing this back. They destroy Nano too. It's a 1-4-3 trade. All of a sudden, we're looking at level 20 on both sides. 8 kills to 21. The comeback, it's actually happening. Are you kidding me? They have 31 gems now. The boss is up. Can they take it? I mean, they could. They're going for the top lane now. Together with Sylvanas, it will actually be really interesting because they could just destroy that top keep. But now, Lopaka! He gets away. What a game. All of a sudden, we have the red team with a bit of momentum here. They're starting to trade kills. Cure baited them in. They traded kills 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Cure baited them deep into the fight. A master baiter par excellence, the American player. And now they're going for the boss. Garrosh is going to be back soon. But yep, that's going to be a boss for the red team. Or at least it should be. There's of course some poke happening. But it would be a bit of a miracle if the blue team could somehow make this one work. Cure now back to business with Sylvanas in the middle of the map and just pushing out those catapults. We're 17, 18 minutes into the game and the boss has now been taken. They might just be able to take a keep down. I mean, keep in mind, if they're destroying this keep, then we are slowly and steadily getting to an even standing in structures, which would be bananas. That would be absolutely crazy. I mean, we had 2 keeps destroyed on the red team side as they hadn't had a single fort destroyed yet. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, at the top, they try to defend the keep now. They should be able to make that work. Thanks to Hanzo, there's no push coming in with this. So, a little bit of damage done, but not enough. They were more interested in taking the fort in the mid lane out, which they've now successfully done. They have also 40 gems, so they can start to go for the next turn in here. Which they should honestly try and get, because another turn in would really help. Yeah, still trying to get some gems turned in, but there's too many people watching, poking, Hanzo using his arrows. It's kind of funny, by the way, Darkmook is the only one that hasn't died yet. He's the only one this entire game that hasn't died even once. So yeah, Blaze doing a fantastic job here. Again, they go for Diablo. He's fully stacked in souls. And again, Brightwing is down. Brightwing is dead. Crankle is gone. And the counter kill is not coming. Horga dies too. Now it's a 5 versus 3 for the blue team. And what looked like a potential comeback, like the dream might become reality, is now turning against them again. The blue team, they were definitely worried for a second there, but now they have everything that they need. 24 kills, 2-8, 3 defenders is all that's left, and they are coming through for another camp, and now the push through the middle. With catapults, with camps, they're starting to make their way towards the core. Hoping to end the game, of course. Down to the bottom of the map, we have Siege Giants, Catapults. If they somehow miraculously defend the core, the bottom keep could fall and might make things more interesting. But of course, it is a dream at this point, especially with Sylvanas just absolutely getting crushed within half a second. No chance any longer to hold this. This is game. Really interesting back and forth there towards the end, but the blue team is victorious on Tomb of the Spider Queen.